Lean Six Sigma for the services sector. Simpler, easier and more effective. Lean Six Sigma works perfectly in the services sector, and there's no need for a lot of the manufacturing tools that are covered in the body of knowledge. How often have you heard someone say, "We can't do Lean Six Sigma here. Lean Six Sigma is just for manufacturing, isn't it?" Or, "Our processes are long and complex. Every transaction is unique and requires special consideration." Because Lean Six Sigma's historical roots are in manufacturing does not mean that we cannot use it in the services sector. Just the opposite. According to US employment figures from 1900 to 1940, employment in manufacturing and the services sector were about the same. Since 1950, the manufacturing industry, however, has gone down to 13%, and the service sector has gone up to about 80% employment. The original body of knowledge focused on manufacturing and is stuffed with manufacturing tools and methods. Because of this, we are teaching our people things they don't need to know to solve problems they don't have. This is a form of overproduction, and if you know enough about lean, you know that overproduction is waste. We have radically changed the course material to suit the people of the services sector. This means that big chunks of information have been taken out, i.e. material that belongs to the manufacturing industry. The reduction of theoretical material and the clear focus on the services sector provided us with more time to focus on the practical teaching, letting the students practice the right tools and methods. Build the process management system first, then introduce Lean to get rid of waste, and then use Six Sigma methods to reduce variation and defects as appropriate. Before we do anything with data, we focus on Lean to eliminate waste and non-value add activities. We point to the weakest link area using the value stream map. Only then will we be able to do a value add analysis on each of the process steps of the actual process under investigation. The most important thing we must do is to formulate a clear, concise, smart problem statement. A problem statement is used to focus the project team in the beginning, keep the team on track during the project, and is used to validate that the improvements you have put in place have solved the problem. You must understand your problem. Have you ever heard someone tell a story, but they jump around from here to there in a way that makes the story hard to follow? This is a common problem in Lean Six Sigma projects. A Lean Six Sigma project storyboard should be easy to follow from the smart problem statement to selected solutions you implement and the controls you put in place to keep the improvement in place. What shall we concentrate on? Do we have a problem to fix? First, prioritise your processes and do some preliminary data analysis. Next, confirm the project and appoint a project manager. Commence Lean Six Sigma for services. First, complete Gantt chart with all relevant tasks. Then complete the project charter with problem statement and goal statement. Then value stream map. Find the weakest link. Then process map. Eliminate waste. Example, non-value add. Any of the 20 service wastes. Then collect raw data into Excel. And then clean and pivot the data. Next, what does the problem statement indicate? Defects, delays, or deviations? Some service wastes you might like to consider. Sorting and searching. Inappropriate measurement. Underload. Overload. Inappropriate prioritizing. Interruptions. Inappropriate frequency. Start up and end off. Mistakes and errors. Misunderstanding or communication errors. Sub-optimization. Waiting. Inappropriate presence. Duplication. Lost opportunity. Transporting. IT systems. power and energy, wasted materials, human potential, multitasking, working more than 8 hours a day.
What does your problem statement indicate in your case? Are you looking at defects, delays, or deviations? If your problem is with defects, start a control chart to see how bad the situation is. The control you can use, control chart, can either be a U chart for defects per unit, a P chart for defective items, or a C chart if you are counting defects. Next, we do a Pareto chart on the types of defects and find the biggest bucket, i.e. the weakest link, to narrow our focus. Now that we have discovered the area to focus on, we do a fishbone, or a cause and effect analysis. We can use 6 M's to fill the categories of the fishbone. The 6 M's are man, machine, measurements, methods, materials, and Mother Nature. The 6 M's provide us with a general area of waste and variation. We put our SMART problem statement in the head of the fish and start brainstorming for causes for each of the categories in the fishbone. Next, for each of the causes in the fishbone, then we do a 5 to get to the bottom of each one of those causes to get, i.e. the root cause. Continuing on, we use an FMEA or a failure mode and effect analysis, and we put the root causes from our 5 whys in under the heading failure mode and complete the analysis part of the FMEA. This will provide us with the highest RPN number or risk priority number. Again, we narrow our focus by focusing on the highest RPN number. That is then the main root cause we want to fix to achieve the biggest improvement. We brainstorm all possible solutions or countermeasures and use the solutions priority matrix to find the best solution. Next, we complete the FMEA with the action part and delegate the newly found solutions implementation to the specific person and give him or her a completion date. When we revisit the FMEA and score the severity, occurrence and detection again, after the improvement has been put in place, the new RPN number should be a lot less than the one we displayed earlier in the analysis part of the FMEA. This means that we have made a good improvement. It is now important to keep the improvement in place and check the control chart again. Use the same type of chart, of course, as you did at the start. And the process now should be stable without any outliers. If delays are your problem, for example, too long cycle times, too much response time, too much time you leave the customer waiting, well, then we start the control chart to carefully check if we have special cause variation. In this occasion, the type of control chart we will use is either an IMR chart, which is an individual moving range chart, or an X-bar R chart, which we only use that if we have 8 subgroups or less, or an X-bar S chart if we have more than 8 subgroups. So subgroups are, for example, in a year you have 12 months, so you have 12 subgroups. In a week you have 5 days, so you have 5 subgroups. Next, we do a pros capability and see how much of our data falls outside the customer specs. That means that data is not acceptable, as indicated in the graph. It will show as red. In order to improve on this, we need to focus on eliminating waste or reducing variation, or indeed have the whole team who's working on the process and do things faster in order to be able to deliver the goods, product or services to the customer on time. It is good then to do a value add analysis next and check each step for value add, non-value add or necessary non-value add, as well as the time it takes for each step to complete, and check for rework, usually around diamonds, the diamond symbol, and all those extras that are happening in the process. Finally, for each step we worry about, as in non-value add, maybe some of the necessary non-value add that we don't really agree with. Usually happens when people say it's like has always been like that. That's not good enough of an excuse to have steps in a process that aren't really needed. We put them as failure modes in the FMEA, and we complete the analysis part to find the highest RPN number by completing the score for severity, occurrence and detection. We brainstorm the actions and allocate the implementation of the countermeasures to a member of the team with a target date. And again, check after the improvement has been made if the new RPN number is a lot lower than the one in the analysis part. Next, we do a process capability again, and we show that indeed the process now is capable and acceptable. It fits nicely between the upper and lower spec, and so it is acceptable. This will demonstrate that our countermeasures have worked. To put a control in place, we install the same type of control chart we made early on, and we make the process owner responsible for keeping the good improvement in place by keeping an eye on this control chart to make sure that we do not get any special causes again. Of course, we need to train everybody in the team about the new steps of the improved process.
We have just set up a new group on LinkedIn called Lean Six Sigma for the services sector.
Together with the members of this group, we are aiming to come up with solutions to implement a new body of knowledge solely for the services sector. This group is a few weeks old and we have only a few members so far. We need your input, so
join our LinkedIn group now.